Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're doing a deep dive into Teru Nakashima's ABC theory.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of material to go through.
Oh, we do?
We've got, a whole stack of his writings,
Yeah.
research on how it's been applied, and even some anecdotal accounts from his workshops.
That's right.
Really fascinating stuff.
I'm really excited for this one.
Me too. So today, we're really going to try to unpack how self-affirmation can be such a powerful tool for personal growth.
Right. And I think what's so fascinating about this theory is that it gives you like a practical roadmap for dealing with tough situations.
Okay.
It's not about avoiding difficult things altogether.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, that's impossible.
Right.
But it's more about like giving yourself the mental tools.
Right.
The mental tools you need to handle them well.
So it's less about controlling what's happening outside.
Exactly.
And more about what's going on inside.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So how does this ABC theory actually work?
Okay, so think of it this way. You've got an activating event.
Okay.
The A,
Okay.
something happens in your life. It could be anything, like
Yeah.
missing your bus or losing your job.
Right.
Now, instead of that event like directly causing an emotional response,
Okay.
it's your belief.
The B.
The B, yeah, about that event,
Okay.
that really dictates your reaction.
Okay, so let's say, like, I spill coffee all over my new shirt.
Oh, no.
That would be the A.
Right, the spilled coffee is the A.
But then the B could be like, oh, I'm so clumsy. I
Yeah.
always mess things up.
Exactly. And then that belief leads to C, the consequence.
Okay.
So maybe you feel embarrassed, you feel frustrated,
Right.
and maybe you snap at somebody
Yeah.
nearby.
Yeah.
But what if you had a different belief about the spilled coffee?
Okay.
Like everybody makes mistakes, it's
Right.
no big deal.
Yeah.
That would probably lead to a totally different reaction.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not about pretending it didn't happen.
Right.
It's about choosing a belief
Yeah, a more empowering belief.
that helps you deal with it better.
Exactly, and that's where self-affirmation comes in.
Okay.
Nakashima says that self-affirmation is like a mental buffer.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you to reframe negative experiences in a more positive light.
It's like a mental immune system.
Exactly, like a mental immune system.
Okay.
And he says it's especially important when you're a kid
Oh, yeah.
because those early beliefs about yourself,
Yeah.
they shape how you react to challenges your whole life.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
This makes me think about, like, a kid learning to ride a bike.
Yeah.
If they fall down and think, I'll never get this,
Yeah.
they might give up.
Right, they'll just give up.
But if they think, I can do this, it just takes practice.
Right.
They're more likely to keep trying.
Totally. And, Nakashima actually breaks down self-affirmation into 6 key elements.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so we've got self-esteem, self-acceptance, self-efficacy, self-confidence,
Wow. Okay.
self-determination, and self-worth.
Got it.
Each one plays a role in, like, shaping your sense of self
Mm-hmm.
and influencing how you respond to tough times.
Okay, so let's dive into those 6 elements a little bit more.
Okay.
Like, how does having strong self-efficacy, the belief in your ability to accomplish things,
Yeah.
how does that affect how we handle a challenge?
Well, imagine you get rejected for a job.
Okay.
If you have strong self-efficacy,
Yeah.
you might see that rejection as an opportunity to
Yeah.
find a better fit rather than a failure.
Yeah.
You believe in your skills.
Right.
So you're more likely to bounce back and keep searching.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
So instead of getting caught up in all the self-doubt,
right.
you can reframe the situation and keep moving forward.
Exactly.
Okay, so Nakashima talks about these workshops where he helps people work on these 6 elements.
He does.
What happens in those workshops?
Oh, it gets really interesting.
Okay.
He doesn't just talk about these ideas.
Right.
He has all these practical exercises and tools
Oh, wow.
to strengthen each of those elements.
Okay.
He even uses stuff from Adlerian psychology,
Interesting.
which focuses on a person's drive to grow and belong.
So he's mixing different approaches
Yeah,
to create this whole framework for growth.
right.
That's fascinating. Could you give us an example of a specific technique?
Okay, so one that really stands out is his use of color psychology.
Color psychology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might sound a little out there,
Right.
but it's a really powerful way to tap into your subconscious emotions
Okay.
and learn more about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
He has this 4-color selection tool
Okay.
where you choose colors that you like,
Mhm.
and that tells you about your emotional needs and patterns.
I'm really curious about this color psychology technique. It sounds like a personality test,
Kind of.
but with colors?
Yeah.
So how does that actually work?
Well, it's a little more than just a personality test.
Okay.
Not so much about putting people into categories. It's
Oh.
more about, like, understanding their emotions.
Okay.
So someone who likes warm colors, like reds and oranges,
Mm-hmm.
might need more excitement and connection.
Okay.
While someone who likes cool colors, like blues and greens,
Yeah.
might be looking for peace and quiet.
So it's not like if you like blue, you're this type of person.
Exactly.
It's more about using color to understand those deeper emotions.
Right. And the cool thing is Nakashima uses these insights
Yeah.
from the color exercise
Okay.
to figure out which self-affirmation techniques will work best.
Wow, so it's personalized.
Yeah, it's like tailor-made self-help.
That's amazing. So let's say someone needs more self-confidence.
Okay.
What would he suggest?
Well, he might tell them to try positive self-talk.
Okay.
Focus on your strengths and what you've accomplished.
Yeah.
Or maybe visualize yourself handling tough situations.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on the person.
I see how these ideas could be turned into real actions.
Yeah.
It's not just about feeling good.
Right.
It's about having the tools to deal with your emotions.
Exactly. And that's what makes Nakashima's work so great.
Yeah.
He doesn't just say, believe in yourself.
Right.
He shows you how to actually do it.
Okay, so I know his workshops are used in leadership training.
Oh, yeah.
What makes this approach so good for leaders?
Well, as a leader, you're always facing challenges.
Right.
And making decisions that affect everyone.
Your whole team?
Yeah, your team and the whole organization.
Okay.
Nakashima's theory helps leaders see
Yeah.
how their own beliefs affect their leadership style.
Okay, so it's about self-awareness
Exactly.
and how their emotions might be affecting their decisions.
Right. And it also helps leaders build resilience in their teams.
Okay.
By understanding the ABC theory,
Yeah.
leaders can help their team handle challenges better.
So it's like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Empower the leaders,
Mm-hmm.
and they empower their teams,
Exactly.
and everyone wins.
That's the idea.
Okay, but how does Nakashima measure the impact of his workshops?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah, like can you actually track if these changes last?
He's very serious about that.
Okay.
He uses different methods to see how well the workshops work.
Okay.
One is just observation.
Okay.
Like watching how people behave and interact.
So it's not just filling out a survey.
No, it's about seeing real changes.
Okay.
But he also uses surveys before and after
Okay.
to see how people feel about themselves.
So they might ask, do you feel more self-worth now?
Exactly. And by tracking these feelings over time,
Yeah.
we can see if the changes are lasting.
So it's a data-driven approach.
Yeah.
Taking these big ideas and finding ways to measure them.
And the data is pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
People in his workshops say they feel more confident.
That's great.
And have better self-esteem.
Amazing.
And this is backed up by what the facilitators see
Okay.
and even feedback from family and colleagues.
It sounds like he's created a program that really works.
Yeah, it's not just about feeling good in the moment.
Right.
It's about real personal growth.
And the positive effects even go beyond the individual.
Right. There's evidence that people's relationships improve, too.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
So just changing your beliefs can have a huge impact.
it really can.
No, we've talked a lot about workshops.
Yeah.
But are there takeaways for our listeners,
Oh, absolutely.
even if they can't go to a workshop?
The biggest thing is to be aware of your own beliefs
Mhm.
and how they affect your emotions.
So, like, what's going to belief about this and is it helping me?
Exactly. It's about being mindful of your thoughts
Okay.
and how they're affecting you.
And if a belief isn't helping,
Yeah.
how do we change it?
It takes effort, but you can,
Okay.
Nakashima says, to challenge those negative beliefs.
Okay.
Ask yourself, is there proof for this belief?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a better way to see this?
So don't just accept the negative thoughts.
Right.
Question them
Exactly.
and look for a different perspective.
And another good tool is gratitude.
Oh, yeah.
Focus on the good things.
Yeah.
Even when things are tough.
Okay.
This can make you more optimistic and resilient.
So Nakashima's theory is like a toolkit for a better life.
It is.
And anyone can use it.
Exactly.
But before we get into more of those tools,
Okay.
let's take a quick break.
Sounds good.
We'll be back soon to wrap up our deep dive into
Yeah.
Teru Nakashima's ABC theory
Looking forward to it.
and talk about how you can use it in your daily life.
Great.
Stay with us. Welcome back to our deep dive. It's amazing how these tools from Nakashima's theory can help us grow.
It is. And, we've only just scratched the surface.
Right. There's so much more to explore.
What I find really interesting is how Nakashima brings together ideas from different places.
Yeah, like what?
Well, like Adlerian psychology with its focus on purpose and belonging, and then that color psychology thing. It's fascinating.
It is. It's like he's creating this bigger picture of what it means to be human.
Exactly. And it's not just about you growing as a person.
Right? It affects everyone around you.
Yeah, it ripples outwards in your relationships, your work, your community.
Okay, so before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay, I like this.
Think about a recent challenge you faced,
Mm-hmm.
like a disagreement at work or maybe a personal setback.
Okay.
Now ask yourself, what did I believe about that situation?
Yeah,
And how did that belief affect my reaction?
that's a good one. It makes you really look at those beliefs we have that we don't even realize are driving us.
Exactly. And by looking at them, we can start to change them.
Right. Ask yourself, is this belief really helping me?
Is there a better way to see this whole thing?
It's about taking back control
Yeah. Realizing we have a choice in how we see the world.
and how we react to it.
It's not always easy to change those deep-seated beliefs,
No, it takes work.
but Nakashima gives us the tool to get started.
He does.
Well, this has been a really eye-opening deep dive into Teru Nakashima's ABC theory,
I agree.
and I hope everyone listening feels more empowered to understand and shape their own beliefs.
That's what it's all about. You have the power to choose your beliefs, and those beliefs shape your world.
So true. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep believing in your own power to create the life you want.